guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with the next update for my decal panning project pan. But before I jump into any of that, I just want to apologize for my voice. As you can hear, I am losing my voice, but I haven't had a video up in a few days and I wanted to film, and the pain in my throat is better today but my voice is not, so I hope that's not too distracting. But I just wanted to get a video up, but I might be missing my next upload. I think my next video will go up on Monday, and that's because I'm going away this weekend and my plan was to pre-film this week, but as you can see I have been sick. It's not COVID though. I did take a test, which is luckily it's not, it's just a regular cold. But yeah, I just wanted to apologize for that first, but I'm going to jump straight into the products. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in family. But let's just jump into the first product. So my update today might be a bit quicker than normal because I want to not strain my voice too much. So I'm just gonna talk about the products a little bit and then roll my new items in, because I will be rolling some new items in. But the first one I'm going to talk about is my Natasha Denona gold palette. I rolled this in for most expensive, and my goal with this is to reach for it 30 times, and 5 of those times need to be exclusively. And as of the last update, I had reached for this 7 times and 2 times exclusively, which is pretty good. And in the last month I have reached for this an additional 7 times. This is what the palette looks like now. It's definitely starting to look more used, which I am loving, because one of the reasons why I wanted to introduce this was because it was basically untouched in my collection, and it's a really expensive palette. But I have reached for this a lot. The shades that I've reached for the most this past month is actually this deep brown. I reached for a lot just to deepen up my looks. I have reached for some of the topper shades, like this one here, and this one here. And then some of the crease shades as well, but there's definitely still shades in here that I need to reach for. I think as of now I haven't reached for the blues. I have not yet reached for this transition shade here, I believe, and also this shade here. So 4 shades I haven't reached for yet, but my goal is to reach for those as well. And yeah, hopefully I will be able to get some more use out of this in the next month and maybe roll it out at the next update. I'm at 14 uses, so I would have to use it 16 times in the next month. But this is a easy palette that I can incorporate with other looks. For example, what I'm wearing today, I could have easily incorporated this in today's look, but I decided to wear other things. But yeah, this will definitely be out in maybe 1 or 2 months. Next up, we rolled in the Sleek Makeup highlighter palette in the shade Solstice. My goal with this is to really pan on one of the shades, and I do believe I rolled this in for Graveyard Project Pan. And with that one I decided to focus in on the bottom kind of peachy shade, and the pan will be up here where I was last month. But I am here at the moment now, and I'm not sure you can pick it up on camera, but there is a little bit of a dip starting to form. This is such a reflective palette that it's really difficult to show, but I definitely feel like there is a little bit of a dip starting, which is really nice, because last month I felt like there was no dip at all, although I had already used it 18 times. But in the past month I have reached for this an additional 24 times, so yeah, there's definitely a dip starting to show, and I'm really hoping to pan on this by the next update. The next item that I have is this moisturizer right here. I rolled this in for a body care item or something like that, and I have actually finished this one. So you can see right here that this is my progress lines. Don't mind this one here because that was from a previous project, but I was up here and then I moved all the way down here, and in the past month I have reached this an additional 8 times for a total of 17. And I think it took a lot of uses to hit that last kind of bit, but I have actually taken the lid off and gotten every single bit out. But I think this is one thing that I like putting on my legs and things when I go out, because it does leave like a little bit of sheen on the body. And it has been getting a bit colder in the past month compared to the month prior, so I feel like because of that I mainly just had like maybe my arms up and not my legs, and that's why I don't think it took me more uses to finish that little bit off, because this big chunk here was only 9 uses and then this little bit was 8. So I think that's why, but at least this is done and I will be replacing this at the end of the video. The next item that I have is a blush, and this one I rolled in at the last update as well, and this is the California blush by Benefit. I rolled this in for a balancing act because it is a really pigmented blush and I need to be quite gentle with it. I don't think you will ever see any progress on this because I only used it 9 times, and as you know with blushes that is like very little usage. And also, like I said, this is a balancing act because it is so pigmented, so I only need a tiny amount when I use this. But I am wearing this on my cheeks today as my blush, and yeah, I have 9 uses in total. So my goal with this is to reach it for 30 times, so I still have 21 times to go. I've really been focusing on my blush that I'm panning in my 21 and 2021, so this one has kind of gone on the back burner, but I'm going to try to focus on this again in next month. But I doubt that I will be able to use it 21 times, so this will probably stay in for another 2 months, but I'm happy with that as long as I'm getting use out of it. Then the very final item that I have is my Naked palette from Urban Decay. In this one I rolled in the shade Naked to work on, and I can't remember what I rolled this in for. It might have been like a sentimental product or something like that. If I can remember, I will put it on the screen. But yeah, I rolled this in with the gold to hit pan on it, and that is where I was at the last update. And this right here is where I am. Where is it? There today. So I did actually hit pan on this, as you can see, and it took me 9 times to hit pan on it. I already had a decent dip in this product, so hitting pan wasn't too difficult. But I do have a lot of pans in this palette now, which is really exciting, because I didn't have a single pan in this, or actually sorry, I had maybe 2 pans in this at the beginning of the year, but it's definitely starting to get more used, which was my goal for this year for this palette, because my goal might be to discard this at the end of the year because it is my oldest eyeshadow palette. But it's also very nostalgic, so we'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to get some more use out of it before it gets too old. Okay, so I have my game board in front of me, and since I hit goal on 2 items, I will be rolling 2 more items in. And I have already shuffled my deck, but I will cut it just to be safe. And the first item will be diamonds of 3 or 3 of diamonds. 3 of diamonds, I think, but yeah, 3 of diamonds, and that is a change suit. And I actually don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look at the description because yeah, I'm not quite sure, but let me go ahead and look and see what that will be. So that means that I have to pick another suit but the same number, so that is a 3. And for the 3s we have heart, which is fragrance, we have clubs, which is eyeshadow, and then space, which is controversial brand. So for that, I think I'm going to go with eyeshadow because you know that I'm trying to have pan on as many eyeshadows as possible this year, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. But yeah, that's the first card. The second card that I'm going to roll in is going to be a queen. So as you know, all the face cards are kind of the same thing, and queen is random color generator. So I'm going to pull that up and we're going to pick a color. So I believe it is the top link right here, so I'm going to press on that and open this site, and hopefully yeah, there we get a color right there. So that is the color I'm going to work on. It is like a sky blue shade, so yeah, that is the color. And then I'm also going to pick another eyeshadow probably, because I'm guessing this is going to be an eyeshadow, and then I will be right back. So I'm back and I have my 2 items, and as I said, they're both eyeshadows. So the first one, like I said, is an eyeshadow that I rolled in for the 3, and I actually decided to go with an eyeshadow from my Magic Mini palette by Juvia's Place, because it's a palette that I really want to hit pan on all the shades in. And I'm gonna try to cover up 2 shades because I am working on those 2, so I don't want to spoil anything. But the shade that I have decided to go with is this bronzer shade right here, which is called Bornu. I think that's going to be a neutral shade enough to roll in, and it is one of the only shimmers in here that I have not been working on or working on at the moment. So yeah, that's the one I'm gonna roll in, and let me swatch it out. And there you have Bornu swatched out. Like I said, it is just like a bronzy shade. It has a little bit of orange in it, but it's not too warm. So yeah, that is gonna be the first item that I roll in. So for the second item, I rolled in this color right here, and I will pop up on the screen what it looks like better. But the shade that I rolled it in, or decided to go for with this shade, is again going to be really difficult to show because this palette is always difficult to show. But that is Manicure Tutorials Beauty Spray palette, and I decided to roll in this shade down here. And if holding them up, I'm hoping you can see that they are quite similar. I don't actually have any blue that is exactly the same, but this one is close enough. So that is going to be the second shade that I'm going to work on, and with both of these shades my goal will be to hit pan. And again, there you have the swatch next to the actual color. So yeah, those are the 2 items and 2 eyeshadows that I'm rolling in. And with that, I'm gonna wrap up this update. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to check out Emily and everyone else who is participating down below. And yeah, I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.